How you doing? I'm Jake Sullivan from New York City, and we're here at the Raider Street Hideout. This was my uncle's 1965 fastback Mustang. It has a very interesting backstory, which may or may not be true. It's for you to decide. But let's come check out some of the things my uncle did in his day. This was the flag he used to take to the Oakland Raider games. You can see the mark on his helmet. This is his cut. Motorcycle Club. Back when he used to do bodyguard work for Farrah Fawcett. And even one of the Oakland Raiderettes. But the story about this car is very interesting. My uncle left me this car, and I used to hear stories from him about the car and how he got it from California. He spent its whole life out there until it ended up in New York. My uncle was in the Marine Corps. When he got out of the service, he followed a buddy of his out to California. He started working at a speed shop in Oakland. It's called McCool's. It was run by two brothers, Marvin and Harold. And they did work on some of the fastest cars in the Bay Area. One car in particular he used to take care of was Kenny Stabler. You got it. Snake's 65 fastback Mustang. They used to maintain the car for him. And the reason they got Kenny's car is because their cousin, Larry Todd, was an Oakland Raider and a teammate of Kenny's. And he suggested that Kenny bring his car over. So one night, after a few too many cognac, the McCool brothers thought it'd be funny to take one of Larry Todd's cards, their cousin's cards, and secrete it somewhere in the car as a little, a little prank. Anyway, shortly after that, the car was stolen. And one of the guys that worked for him told my uncle about a story of how he thought the car was stolen by 49er fans. Well, my uncle was in a bar years later, and here's how it all went down. Kenny Stabler was in a bar in San Francisco. There were two 49er fans in there. They didn't like the fact that Kenny Stabler was drinking on the other side of the Bay Bridge, and they also didn't like the fact he was talking to a waitress they both liked. Well, they followed him. He goes to the waitress's apartment. They steal his Mustang. The fortunes of the Raiders start to ebb as the 49ers start to flow when they get Joe Montana and start winning all of these Super Bowls. Fast forward to about a week before the McCool brothers are going to retire. My uncle's drinking in a bar in San Francisco, and he hears two guys talking about how well the Niners have been doing, especially since the Mustang. So that caught his attention. He starts to listen a little closer. He follows them back to a small garage just outside of Filbert Street. When they open a door, my uncle can see from across the street the front end of a early model Mustang. He said, could that have been Kenny Stabler's car? So a week later, the McCool brothers are saying their goodbyes. They have a big blowout party. My uncle's going to make his way back to New York. So he decides to go back over by Filbert Street, and he's going to steal that Mustang and drive it back. And he does. He gets back to New York. He asked the McCool brothers what the VIN number was of Kenny Stabler's car. They didn't know, but they told him, we put something in that car. We're not going to tell you what it is, but we put something in that car, and if you find it, then you know you got the car. Well, my uncle found something and he left it there. He never touched it. He passed away, and he left the car to me. He left me a letter and some contact information for a woman, a granddaughter of one of the McCool brothers out in Oakland, California. Well, she knew what was there, or what was supposed to be there. She heard stories from her grandfather for years. Well, I sent it to her, and she sent it back and confirmed it, that this Larry Todd card was where they put it, and where they wrote, McCools were here, 1979. So, Ripley's Believe It or Not, this car once belonged This man, Kenny Stabler, and this is the Snake Bit Mustang. Back to Oakland we go.